What's up, people? How's it going? Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday evening so far. A little later video today because, look, I thought the Seahawks were going to fall into a little bit of a hibernation as these playoffs play out. I thought they were going to chill, but nobody told the Seahawks to chill, and they are getting right back out on the horse. And half a week after they got beaten by the Niners and had their season ended in San Fran, they're giving out wings. And by wings, I mean contracts. And by contracts, in this case, I mean one of the biggest kicker contracts in NFL history. So here we go, guys. The offseason's already upon us. And I was ready to make some videos about this guy this offseason, but don't need to now, at least not in the original intended context, because Jason Myers, he's going to be here a while. Per Schecter and many other sources, the Seahawks have given Jason Myers a 4-year, $21.1 million deal worth up to $22.6 million, so a little bit of incentives there, but not a lot, to Jason Myers. Myers tied to the team through the 2026 season. Jason Myers is now the second highest paid kicker in the NFL behind Baltimore's Justin Tucker. So I believe that would also make him the second highest paid kicker in NFL history. If not, it's like third or fourth. It's right up there. So Jason Myers is now one of the most lucrative kickers in NFL history. And you can actually go to the list over here on Spotrac and see that for active kickers, only Jason Myers makes more on a per year basis. And that's the case with or without the incentives. So whether or not Jason Myers reaches those incentive points, he is making more money than Boswell per year, more than Young Ho Koo, Graham Gano, Daniel Carlson. These guys who are generally synonymous with the better kickers in the league. And then, of course, you have Justin Tucker at the top, who is literally synonymous with the best kicker in the league because everyone always says he's the guy. So how to feel about this one? Because I'll tell you right straight up, I was expecting Jason Myers to be one of the big off-season battles for this fandom. You would have people on the Myers train, people not on the Myers train, and they would be bashing skulls right in the middle. Don't have to do that now because it's over. Now, maybe we're still going to have fights between people who like this decision and people who don't like the decision, but regardless, it's done. He is here, and he's going to be here for a while. So one thing I can say is, just to get this out of the way here, we can now remove kicker from the need column and put it way over here. Kicker is not going to be a need for quite some time, for better or worse. Even if Jason Myers is terrible next year, he's still going to be the kicker the following year because we gave him all that money. He could be terrible 2 years in a row and he'd probably still be here in 2025. So, Jason Myers locked in to the Seahawks. Now, should we have done it? Is this a good idea? Is he worth it? So, let me lead with this because the first question I think is Jason Myers worth this much money? Based off the way he played in 2022, yes. Based off the way he played in 2022, yes. And that is the most recent year we have to work with. NFL is what have you done for me lately? What Myers has done for us lately has been incredible. He was a top 3 kicker, maybe a top 2 kicker, maybe even the best kicker in the league in 2022. I don't know. And at the end of the day, I believe that if we didn't give him this contract, somebody would have. So, objectively speaking, yes, Jason Myers missed 3 field goals all year and 1 extra point. One of his field goal misses was all because of a bad snap, not on him at all. He made 6 for 6 from 50 plus, including an extra one, so 7 for 7 in the playoffs. And he was at least, I would say, average at kickoffs, and even if he was imperfect at kicking the ball off, it never hurt us. So Jason Myers is one of the best kickers in the league, and I can look at that and go, one of the best kickers in the league should be one of the highest paid players in the league. That's how capitalism works. But the question is he going to be worth this much to us, and should we have done it? That's kind of the more important question, I think. It's like the Geno Smith thing. It's the thing I always say with the people who aren't big on the Geno Smith idea. They don't want to commit big money to him. It's the thing I always say, look, it's debatable whether or not we should give Geno Smith $35 million a year. But it is objectively true that based off the way he played in 2022, he deserves it. He deserves that money. Much like that, I can say that Jason Myers deserves this money as well. However, that doesn't mean the deal is guaranteed to work out. For Jason Myers to live up to this contract, he's going to have to be playing at a Justin Tucker type level. That means consistency. That means being clutch. That means giving you 4 good years, because this is a 4-year extension. You can't be having, a really bad year. You can't be having a couple mediocre years. You've got to be at the top the whole time. And the Jason Myers we got on his previous 4-year deal, the one that he signed back in 2019, was, I've said it before, I'll say it again. 2 years, he was extraordinary. Maybe the best kicker in the league. I think he should have made All-Pro both years. 2019, he was okay. 82% on his field goals, 91% on his extra points. Missed some big kicks, but ended up not costing us any games. And overall, you would say, better than Blair Walsh, better than Janikowski, but And then you have the worst case scenario, 2021, where I think he was the worst kicker in the league. 74%, missed a few extra points, and some of the kicks he missed ended up biting us big time. The extra point he missed against the Titans ended up being a big deal. The field goals he missed against the Saints, big deal. The field goal he missed against the Bears, big deal. Those kicks may have flipped those games. We'll never know for sure, but they had a lot to do with some very close losses, for sure. And at the end of the day, I need a kicker to be consistent if you're going to be paying him this kind of money. Now, he was consistent throughout the entire year of 2020 and the entire year of 2022, so it can happen. But I definitely think the general mentality that I espoused throughout this year holds true. You get kickers in the 7th round of the draft. You get kickers in UDFA. You get kickers out of nowhere who play at a hyper elite level. Like, these guys just come in from college, and maybe the college kicking rules with the wider hash marks just didn't agree with them. They get to the NFL and they just start killing it. Like, those guys can be dominant too. This is not like the quarterback position. See, the difference for me, the reason why I advocated for keeping Geno going into 2023, it's harder to find quarterbacks. If you try to scrounge around in the bargain basement heap or the UDFA pool for a quarterback, the odds of you coming up with a good one, pretty low. With kickers, we see it every year. We see good kickers come out of nowhere every year with very little capital and very little money invested. So, knowing that Jason Myers is capable of being a phenomenal kicker like he was 2 out of the 4 years he's been here, I also know that you could spend peanuts on a guy who is capable of being phenomenal. And some people are going to say, well, that no-name kicker could also be terrible, but that's my point, right? We've seen Jason Myers be terrible too. So, I'm not against it. I don't hate it. I understand it. Myers played so well last year that I can't really say I dislike it. But I am wary of the downsides here. I am wary of the fact that he has shown he is capable of being a very unreliable, untrustworthy kicker. And I'm also aware of the fact that it's a position that could be filled for peanuts. We see it all the time. Could be filled by a rookie. Could be filled by somebody who just got the yips wherever he was and needed a change of scenery. You never know with these things. But it is what it is. He's here now. He's going to be here for a while. It's one less thing to worry about in the offseason. So, check mark on the kicker position. Jason Myers is here, and he deserves it. But hopefully he will earn it through the next several years. See you guys on Twitch in a little bit here. Go Hawks.